Welcome to Earthwork Echoes. By a winter stream, an old mill is waiting on one careful repair. An oak trunk becomes the part that makes everything move again. A water wheel can look unstoppable until one hidden piece snaps. The shaft is broken, the gears are silent, and the mill can't grind. If the new axle isn't perfectly straight, it won't just wobble, it'll fail fast. The water keeps running while the mill stands still. In the yard, the replacement lies heavy, an oak trunk hauled in over hardened roads, rolled onto a timber bed in the meadow. The miller greets the craftsmen, then lets them work. Bark comes off in wide strips, making clean paths for layout. The strips get crushed and mixed with water into a dark paste. The marking cord is dragged through it until it's black, ready to leave a line you can't ignore. Now comes the quiet step that controls every swing, snapping lines. The cord pulls tight, then snap. A dark rule appears down the length. Another line follows. Miss this stage by a hair, and every perfect cut after it is perfectly wrong. This is where the shaft is either born true or born trouble. The first cuts are close notches. Each chop breaks through pale sapwood and flashes darker heartwood beneath. That shift in color tells you you're into the tough core. Near the root end, the grain fights hardest, so the notches get tighter and the pace gets slower. Waste pops out between the notches in big chunks, stepping the surface down toward the line. Then the carpenter's axe cleans it, shaving high spots until the face starts to shine. The blade takes a quick warm at the fire, cold steel chips, and chipped steel tears. They roll the trunk and repeat, measure, snap, notch, hew, smooth. On a finished face, they set turning points with another careful measurement. Millimeters matter. If the centers drift, the whole shaft will spin like it's arguing with itself. After 4 sides, the log has become a massive square beam. Satisfying, yet the hard part is next. Now comes the step that decides whether this mill will run smooth, turning a square into a cylinder. The beam stands upright and aligned, and the corners start disappearing. One corner, then the next, 4 edges become 8. The shape turns octagonal, and you can already see the circle hiding inside it. At the ends, holes are drilled for the cranks, because soon this becomes a human-powered lathe. Before chisels touch it, the sharp edges are broken. This is where accidents begin. A corner catches, a tool kicks, a hand loses the argument, so they dull the danger before they chase the finish. Cranks are driven dead center. The shaft is lowered into its turning points. Helpers arrive with long poles, and suddenly it's rotation without electricity, steady, rhythmic, unforgiving. The tool rest is set, solid as a rail. There isn't much extra wood left, which makes this tense. You can see the edge start to bite, thin curls peel off, then thinner like ribbons. Now comes the part where most pieces get ruined, chasing smoothness too fast. They don't. They work in calm alternation from one end to the other, keeping the cut even so the shaft stays balanced. The payoff comes in the sound, chop becomes whisper, faceted becomes smooth. If you like watching real skill up close, you'll enjoy what's coming next, because now it's not about shape, it's about fit. The shaft ends are marked for a gentle cone. This is where a catch can launch the handle upward, so the stance tightens and the cuts get small. Little by little, the heads take their final curve. Now iron joins wood. Pins will carry the load where the shaft rotates. Hoops heat in the fire until they glow, hot enough to clamp as they cool. At the root end, a two-winged pin is fitted. A slot is sawn to match, and a drilled hole relieves the stress so the chiseling doesn't split the oak. You can watch the waist lift cleanly, then the center opening widen for the thicker neck. This is the moment you don't get back. The pin seats, the hot hoop slides on. As it cools, it shrinks tight, clamping the pin like a vise. Beechwood wedges lock everything immovable. The moment it sits flush, perfect. At the other end, a three-winged pin goes in for a stronger hold. More cuts mean more risk of rot, so this end will live inside the mill, protected from weather. Practical choices keep old machines alive. Slot, relief, chisel, fit, hoop again. And when both ends are finished, the shaft isn't just smooth, it's ready. Lift it into the machinery, fix the wheel outside, and the silence finally breaks. Water becomes motion, motion becomes grind, and the mill returns to work, because a few careful hands made one piece run true. If this kind of craft is your kind of calm, hit like and subscribe to Earthwork Echoes. More builds, more old-world precision, and more satisfying finishes are coming next.